This is Midnight Alchemy with your host Jason Allen on the Left Coast Media Network. And now here's Jason.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever and whenever you are. This is Midnight Alchemy, and I am the dude behind the mic, Jason Allen. Hello there. Hey, we got a great show for you tonight. James Mitchell of the Guardian Angel Paranormal Society is going to be with us, and we are going to talk some paranormal action. So, hey, stick around for that. But first, the paranormal news. A brand new survey ranks the top 10 paranormal cities. That's right. The service was conducted in the spring of this year by the company Per Lon Love. The company looked at 14 different metrics when ranking the 200 biggest cities in America when it comes to their instances of the supernatural. They were put into 4 categories: sightings, haunted locations, lifestyle, and community. All right, without further ado, here's the top 10 paranormal cities. Number 1, Los Angeles. Ladies and gentlemen, the City of Angels is the city of the dead. Number 2, New York. It used to be, as if you were in the Bronx at night, you might end up dead. Number 3, Chicago. The most haunted site there, okay, is Soldier Field, the home of the Chicago Bears. Bada bing. Number 4, San Diego. Number 5, New Orleans, a city that has a well-known paranormal history. Number 6, Philadelphia. Number 7, San Antonio. Number 8, Dallas. Hey, we all know that the spookiest thing about Dallas is the Dallas Cowboys. I want to tell you, it is highly known that their owner, Jerry Jones, communes with Satan. Hey, it's real. Look it up. Number 9, Indianapolis. Number 10, Las Vegas. That is not shocking. Las Vegas, it's totally believable because if you drink enough, you'll wake up the next morning with your wallet empty, married to a local zombie that was officiated by a fat, bloated, dead Elvis. Hey-yo. All right, folks, going to do a quick spot. And then James Mitchell of the Guardian Angel Paranormal Society, please sit still. We'll be right back. Newsbox is a full-service streaming media company that brings you awesome shows like Coffee with Curmudgeons, The Portland Conversations, and Turning Left. Not only does Newsbox bring the entertainment, but they can also help with all your podcast needs. Ever thought that you want to do your own podcast? Well, Newsbox can help with that. We can help with content, presentation, and even a streaming media platform that can get your podcast a worldwide audience. You can reach them at www.newsbox.com or visit them on their Facebook page. Newsbox. Live outside the box. All right, we are here with James Mitchell of the Guardian Angel Paranormal Society. James, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
You got it. Now we ran into each other at this year's Ghost Conference, man. Tell me what it was like down there.
Well, it was pretty busy, trying to do some networking and just trying to take in everything that's there. It's a really big event every year Rocky throws on. You name it, they got it, from tarot card readers, other paranormal teams, psychics. I even brought on your old co-host, Holly Jordan.
That's right.
Yeah.
The cool thing about it is the last time I went to the convention was when they had it up in Oregon City.
Yeah, at the that little community center, I believe it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I think we all went there.
Yeah, that's right. We were hunting for guests of the old show.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But the way it's just grown throughout the years is amazing. I mean, I didn't know what I was going to find when, we showed up, although the name, Seaside Convention Center did give me a little hint that this was going to be a little bigger. And I was amazed, man, not only of the size, but just the variety of
Yeah,
everyone.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Rocky gets them from all over, the Pacific Northwest.
yeah.
I've heard that he's had people come from across the pond, to take part in it. Yeah, it's grown substantially, and from what I hear, next year it's going to even be bigger.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, Rocky always puts on a show.
And well, if you're going to do it right, Rocky's the man.
Amen. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna start at the very beginning. Let's time travel back. When did you first get interested in the paranormal?
Oh, let's see. I've been pretty much into paranormal 20 plus years, but really picked up in our old house back in the early 2000s, when my wife Heidi was doing a video recording of her weight loss journey, and she caught something on the audio, and it really freaked her out. And
Yeah.
so she called me while I was at work, told me to get my effing ass home and you know uh, to deal with it. So
Yeah.
just things have happened in that house. We knew there's um, things going on, but you know, trying to learn and understand is, you want to find answers.
Right.
So you know that kind of pushed us to looking at joining a team. That's pretty much how it ended up going.
Mhm.
We joined a team, TEPS Paranormal, out of Oregon City, I believe it was at the time, Trails and Paranormal Society.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm not sure if you remember this or not, but we only were on one case with them, and it was a training case, and that was at Mark's house.
That's right. I remember it well.
Yes,
Yeah.
with his mom and the game shows she liked to watch all the time.
Right. Right.
So, you know, Heidi and I were like, okay, now we can try and find some answers, hopefully get things kind of, going. And well, that team kind of fizzled out and didn't do anything forever. So we kind of just left that group, because
Yeah.
we want to be active. We want to find answers. We just want to learn.
Yeah.
You know, I knew for like I said, quite a while that I was into paranormal. I'm into paranormal. I'm into Bigfoot right now. I got
Yeah.
stories about that. We'll have to do it in a later date.
Hmm.
Uh, aliens too.
Yeah.
I'm all into that. But the paranormal has really caught my eye the most. Bigfoot is now coming close to that. Um, but so after that first team, we took a few months off to just kind of think about things. And then a friend of mine had his own team, and we kind of jumped on board on that one relatively
Hmm.
quick. So Heidi and I were with him for a little while. And then going back to the ghost conference,
Yeah.
you want to check things out, meet everyone that's there, um, and absorb all the information.
Right. Networking, networking,
Networking,
networking.
network, exactly.
Yeah.
And I was going by a booth, um, and the gentleman there had said, "You need to start your own paranormal team." And this was probably, well, it was well before COVID, so probably 2, 3 years before COVID hit.
Yeah.
And I told him, well, that is my end game. That is the goal of mine, is to start my own team.
Hmm.
And so going forward, Heidi and I were with this other team, and I had gone on many investigations with him. And then after COVID hit, or was just coming to the forefront pretty much,
Yeah.
February 6, 2020 is when I started Guardian Angel Paranormal Society. I told my friend, I said, look, it's time now. I'm leaving the group and I'm starting my own group.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much how we became.
Right.
It took a while to come up with a name um, that I liked, and obviously the logo. You can't miss the logo now.
Right.
Every time I go into Seaside, it's like, oh, I know you. Hey, I know you.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you're doing something right. Not just the logo, but your name. People are finally giving you recognition.
Yeah.
Um,
That is
we're still a young team. I mean, granted, 3 years. Um, Obviously, half that was COVID, so we couldn't do anything.
right.
You know, I put the group together with a few thoughts in mind. I wanted a couple people that didn't know anything, and we could all learn,
Hmm.
and we could show them. I definitely wanted a skeptic on the team because it's always good to have a skeptic.
Sure.
Um, and then eventually, I wasn't 100% on board with bringing a psychic medium on in the first like year or so
Hmm.
because I didn't want to bring them on and the team not ready.
Right.
Um, and then this situation with Holly came in. That was just,
Yep.
I can't even remember how it really all began. But Seth and Jill was, I think Holly, we were with Seth, Jill
Hmm.
from White Light Paranormal Insights,
Hmm.
and Holly were at a thing that Seth was throwing, and Holly and I really communicated well together. And I just said, well, um, later that evening when we got home, I said, hey, would you be interested in joining the team? And that was something she was willing to do. So
Yeah.
um, we've not really, so I've got Holly on. We've just really started getting into doing cases uh, right now. At the conference, when you stopped by our booth, you did see some evidence
Oh
of
yeah.
what was going on because I was doing some video review while we were at the conference because, you're at the conference, people are wanting to see or hear. And part of the conference, we were the presenting sponsors this year.
Oh
So
nice. Yeah.
we were the big top dog this year, so
Excellent.
to speak,
Mm.
for that. And we did during conference, there's 3 or 4 teams that do investigations throughout the weekend,
Mhm.
primary Fridays and Saturday nights. We did the Starry Night In down there by the convention center um, Friday night, so it'd be like early Saturday morning. And so that's where the evidence review I was working on came from. So that was just hours old, you know.
Right.
So we've done that. Um, and after that, our really first case we did was Harvey's Comedy Club,
Ooh, excellent.
down in the basement.
Yeah.
And I can go ahead and say it now because they're closed anyway. Um, but down in their basement is another section of the Shanghai tunnels.
Right.
Well, down the basement, it's not dirt down there; it's concrete. Um, so we met with the owners and the people that were running it, and we did an investigation down there. We were down there, I think, twice, and we picked up some really interesting things, I should say. We'll leave it at that. But moving for that, we've not done any really personal, homes and stuff.
Right.
Um, we've done a couple businesses. We did business in Lake Oswego, and we are currently doing a business in Astoria.
Oh nice.
Um, and things are working out. That's going to be like our our building block, so to speak. We pretty much can get in there whenever we want. All we have to do is say, "Hey, we're going to be down here this weekend or whatever," and is it all right? and they'll let us right in. So,
Right.
um, but
Excellent. Yeah.
yeah,
Holly, the addition of her, dude, is awesome. And she is the real deal.
oh, I know.
And I think she's going to kick it up a couple notches there. And I think
She's already kicked it up a couple notches. All
excellent.
right.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I can't go into really too much detail with this current one
Sure.
because it's an ongoing deal.
Mhm.
We went there last month, and I'm still finishing up some video reviews. We're gonna be doing some historical uh, research here pretty quick,
Yeah.
and then we're going back down next Friday, the 18th, for a couple hours in the evening.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
just to kind of debunk a few things, check a few things out that was kind of weird on video. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I love that you also added the skeptic too, because I mean, that only, fine tunes the truth,
it does.
make
I've already put him through the ringer a couple times.
nice, nice. But yeah, I mean, if somebody has questions are what it, gets stuff done, right?
Yeah,
Looking into it,
absolutely.
seeking the truth.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
One thing I'm a gearhead, okay? I love
oh
gear.
yes, we know
And
that.
so I want to get into it, all the cool equipment that you guys got, because I saw some at the conference and it looked like you guys had like James Bond stuff, right? And
It's pretty much basic stuff like everyone else has. For the most part, I would think everyone has. So,
yeah.
I do have a few K2 meters, an SLS camera. That's my big one, the structured light sensor.
Hmm.
Um, I did have that down at the conference, but I did not use it. And REM pods, bell meters, temperature guns, just a lot of audio recorders. I think I have up to 7 audio recorders right now.
Excellent.
Um,
Yeah.
I have 3, maybe 4 handheld video cameras. I now have 4 stationary cameras that I'm going to be working with on this case here.
Yeah.
So, and I had those down at the conference as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, collecting equipment, right? I gotta say,
Expensive hobby.
oh yeah, it's also addicting, right?
It
You get
is.
one, you're like, oh, I need to get that, and then I need to get that. Next thing you know, you have to move out because you've got too much stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm trying to, find a few. There's a couple things I'm eyeing right now that I want to get, but I got to wait to get the funds for it.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So when those funds become available, then it's going to be added to the inventory of Guardian Angel.
Right, you're working up to the Hadron Collider, right?
Pretty much.
Anyway, yeah, I love the equipment. I love the temperature guns, man. Have you ever picked up anything? And I don't, you don't need to get specific, but like something where the temperature just bottoms out and you guys are, oh crap.
Um, yeah. Um, I was working with our sister group out of Scappoose, it's DBK Investigations, the Klondike Restaurant and Hotel down there.
Right.
Um, Down in the basement, there's a room there that we all call the abortion room.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a place you really want to get into. I mean, it gives you the
Right.
chills.
Right.
And with it being chills, I mean, the last time I was there, when we had the temperature guns out, it was a 20-degree difference.
Oh,
It was colder in that room than anywhere else in the basement.
right. You see, that's why I could never join a paranormal group, right? Because once the temperature drops, I'm checking the watch. Woo, getting late, gotta go. I refer to those moments as poop your Pampers moments.
Ah,
And yeah, it's just
you
I
can't run from those. That's just temperature.
no, I know, but uh, when you come into the tangible real, right? It's no longer just theoretical, like the temperature drop.
Mhm.
Uh, Okay, the first time that happened, what was your reaction?
Um, I had to shake my head a couple times because I was like, this just didn't seem right. And I kept looking at it. I'd shoot the room again a couple times. I'm like, okay. It's like, photography, when you take pictures in cases like this, you take at least three in a row. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Because something can be in the first picture and maybe not the two following it, it goes in succession. So I just did it two, three times. I figure, okay, well, it didn't change. It's all the same. So something's going on. But yeah, I also have to take into consideration the windows, if there's any air coming down through ductwork or
Right.
the piping and stuff. I mean, it is an old building. They are starting to bring the upper floors back.
Mhm.
So
Excellent. Yeah, one thing that always I love about paranormal and looking into it is the history of the places you go, right?
mhm.
Because everybody and everything has a story, and so when you walk into a build,
It's funny you say that because our kind of like our motto is a place has a story to tell. We just let the paranormal tell us their story.
right, right,
So
and all the all the cool buildings and the history behind it. Some are really cool, some maybe a little freaky, like when you mentioned the abortion room. Yeah, I can imagine that's quite a ooh, what do I say to that? It's a poop your pampers moment,
uh,
and that's amazing. Also another thing I'm really interested in it is EVPs, electronic voice phenomenon. Uh,
yes.
because whoever whoever created that, right? Whoever invented that, the first guy decided, hey, I'm gonna record stuff, there's got to be a statue made of this guy, because I mean it is such a now valuable component to paranormal research. It opens the door for a whole new side of it. So tell me a little bit about your usage of EVPs.
Well, we go into every case using audio recorder. Back in the day, it was a cassette tape, and recorder. Now everything's digital. Although I do have a small handheld cassette tape, I'm going to be trying on the when I go down next Friday. But yeah, it's everyone in my team takes an audio recorder. We just say, hey, you know,
Yeah.
document who you are, where you are at, the time. If anything's going on, tag it. So when we're going back through, okay, something's going on here. Let's take a closer look. Um, Adam, who you had on, you know, he's my guy from Seaside. So, I mean, I got guys from Seaside, Camas, or I can see wherever.
Yeah.
But Adam's our EVP specialist. So I send him every copy, every file we have on audio recorders from an investigation. I'll keep the originals. I'll send him copies. He'll go through them and listen for them. And if he's got any questions, he'll send me the clip that is in question, and we'll bounce, ideas off of each other as to what it's saying.
Hmm.
A good example is the other day. Um, he couldn't make out what an EVP was saying. And a lot of people say, when in doubt, throw it out.
Okay.
You um, so he sent it to me to see what I thought, and Heidi and how her mind rolls.
Sure.
Um,
For sure.
you
Uh,
know,
high octane honey.
right. So listening to this EVP, my mind went to that, you know,
Hmm.
uh, place. And then when we had our team meeting here last Thursday, we got a better understanding of what the EVP said. It basically said certain sections, meaning this location, there's something going on in a different part of the building.
Oh.
Because this is a basically a two-story business.
Mm-hmm.
So there's things going on the main floor, downstairs in the basement area, and then in the storage area.
That's
Uh,
fantastic, man. Hey, EVP tour guide, right?
yeah,
You need to go
absolutely.
check out this area. That's
Right.
that
This
is
is what's going
fantastic.
on over here. This is what's going on over here. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
But
Uh,
so I mean, it takes. I give Adam credit because it takes a long time to sit there and with headphones on or whatnot and listen to every EVP or every file we send
mhm.
and dig trying to hear things and he has come through with like a class A EVP, which is you hear without making any adjustments or anything like that. We've had a couple of those, and it's like wow, it's kind of shocking.
Yeah, I
Uh,
bet, man.
and with the makeup of this group, I've got new people, I've got rookies, I got people that I've even worked with on one of the other couple teams. I brought them on,
Mhm.
so they've been in the field quite some time. And Heidi and we've been in and around for a while, so we kind of know a little bit.
Mhm.
And to have these guys listen to these EVPs, even their expressions sometimes it's kind of worth it.
Right,
Just because they're like, wow, there's really something going on, or did that just happen, or
right. Yeah, because I mean, everything is unique, right? I mean, every
absolutely.
situation, every case that you guys are on, I mean, it's all unique, and so I can imagine. I mean, the excitement, man. You never stop learning,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know.
I've always told people, if people say you're a professional, you know it all, you're not. You're just fooling yourself because
Right.
you'll never know everything in this field.
Yeah.
I mean, it changes so drastically.
Sure. I mean, technology gets better, just experience, you know.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, you're right. That goes with everything though. Once you say you know everything, you know nothing because you close yourself off and you're not soaking in any more information. And
Exactly. And like I said, we're still a relatively young group. I don't know it all. Like I said, I have a sister group out in Scappoose. I have helped me on investigations.
yeah.
And I bounce ideas off of him and his team, and I've gotten validations. I'm doing good, and the team's doing good,
Hmm.
and you know, he's got stuff that he sends me. So it works both ways. It's a para family.
Sure. Sure.
So, we all kind of help each other out.
I bet. You know, one thing I told Holly when we went to the ghost conference this year, we walked in and I saw the whole layout, went around to some booths
Hmm.
and I told her, these are my people, you know,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
just the breadth and the variety of it, just really, it blew my mind because, I mean, of course, you know that there is many different aspects to the paranormal. I mean, I've listened to radio. I've done some research into it and stuff, and it still humbles me that the amount is never ending that you learn. It's
Mm-mm.
never
Never.
ending.
No.
And oh, okay, that brings me back to dovetailing back. Okay, when Heidi says get your butt home, right?
Uh,
The something's not in the right in the state of Denmark. When you first documented and got that proof that something was going on,
mhm.
how did you handle it? What, because this is a James Mitchell that back in time, has way less experience. Tell me, what how'd you take
I,
it?
I basically said, what the freaking hell? Because what
Yeah.
came across was it sounded dark and evil, and it said Heidi's name, not
Oh
once,
man.
but twice. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's when we called in the TEPS team, and they did their thing. And then we turned around later and had White Light Paranormal Insight come
Yeah.
in. And that team was phenomenal. They helped move an entity on that was up in our attic.
Hmm.
We established that Heidi's grandmother was there protecting Summerlin, Heidi's daughter.
Yeah.
And then a couple things that was going on in our room. We had Heidi's sighting of someone standing at the end of the bed,
Yeah.
and she's trying to wake me up. And I'm like, what? And when I wake up, there's nothing there.
Yeah. Ooh.
The constant smell of cigarette smoke, and the old house, it sits off the street,
Sure.
you know, so no windows were open, no one in the house smoked. And, so we kind of figured one of the entities was my uncle
Yeah.
because he used to smoke, and from what the psychics were saying, they kind of pretty much described it.
Yeah.
So going back, okay, well, I I was interested in the paranormal, and now it seems like the paranormal has found me.
Right.
And so it was like, okay, now it pretty much, I think that pretty much kick-started everything up until now.
Awesome. Yeah. It,
Um,
it definitely fuels you.
yeah, and even today, I mean, learning with the us doing this investigation at this business we're doing now, I had an experience, and Holly was there for that experience, and so I was explaining it to Holly, and then everyone on the team wanted to know what was going on, and I wouldn't tell them. And I finally, at team meeting, I said, okay, since everyone wanted to know what had happened with me down there,
Yeah.
um, it was a personal experience.
Right.
It was gut wrenching. I mean, I felt every emotion of what was going on. And at the time of that investigation, I had a double eye infection, so I was having a hard time seeing
Yeah.
a lot of things. So uh, to have this happen on top of it, it took me back. I had to step back, take a breath. It actually got me to tear.
Mm.
That it was that I
Sure.
don't want to say it was traumatic because I don't, it's
Yeah.
I'll say it was more like a blessing.
Excellent. Yeah.
Um, so
That's
for
fantastic.
me, that has taken a new approach, so to speak, with me going forward. It's something new for me. Um, and after that experience there, I had almost the same experience the night after. Um, I was over in Scappoose with our sister group. Um, I can't go into a whole lot of detail, but he's got something going on that's going to be out probably next year, and I'm helping him and his team with that. But we were at a location, and let's just say what it happened to. There was all I'll say for the most part is there was a hanging of a young man. He took his own life.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
and I pretty much read the whole situation. And my friend said, if I didn't know you, you'd be scaring the hell out of me right now.
Yeah.
Because he
Oh.
knew the situation, he knew all the details,
Yeah.
and I got it down to the T
Mm.
of what happened. And this kind of goes with what happened the night before. It's something new that's happening with me.
Yeah.
Um, and it ties into a reading I had with Seth Michaels a few years back.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Seth is also fantastic. I got to give a
he's
huge shout out to Seth and Jill and White
absolutely,
Light Paranormal Insight, man. Fabulous group.
they are by far. Um, yeah, he did a reading on me, and the last thing he had told me was that I was not ready. And so I'm like, for years, I'm like, what did he mean by that?
Yeah.
He couldn't tell me. And then with this incident down in Astoria, uh, this blessing, I call it,
Mhm.
and Holly was there. And then I was explaining it to Holly, and then I told her what Seth had told me.
Mhm.
And she said her spirit guide says, once my eyesight and everything got back to normal, things are going to be opening up to me. I'm ready. So I'm like, two and two together. So something new is happening.
Yeah.
Let's bring it on. Let's explore this. So you're learning a new aspect of the
Yeah.
paranormal research.
Yeah. That aha moment when
It
stuff clicks, right?
Well, yeah. So it was validation both ways around, all ways around, and I'm thankful for Seth. I'm really thankful for Holly helping me get through that little bit
Mhm.
of what happened down there. So
Right. What also really interests me about that is, as individuals, we have that fight or flight, right?
right.
And you can really tell the paranormal investigation teams, especially just
Mhm.
the attitude, right?
Yeah,
Serious. We're gonna get to the truth, no matter what direction it takes.
yeah,
And I always think back, the fight or flight response. It isn't like the poop your pants, woo, gotta go. It's, hey, I had this experience. I want to know why I had this experience. I want to know more.
exactly. Yeah, it drives your, you know, how you proceed and go forward and to find out what it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Hey, I know you said earlier about Bigfoot, and I kind of want to save that for another episode because, man, we could talk for hours on Bigfoot, right? Uh,
I don't know about ours, but
well,
like I said, that's something that's been new the last 2 years.
sure, sure.
So
Oh,
yeah,
I'll stretch it for hours, man. I'll just keep talking and talking and talking and talking. Well, anyway,
right.
uh, what? Okay, give me your bucket list of places you want to investigate. Dream time. What's James Mitchell's and Guardian Angel's bucket list?
Oh well, I want to get back. It may not be number one, but
Hmm.
back to Stanley Hotel. I've been there 4 times. Did when we first were starting, um, you know, inching into the paranormal, we did a mini investigation. Heidi and I did up there. Um, the Idaho State Bend, that one. Um,
Hmm.
uh, I really actually want to get back down to Tombstone,
Oh,
the
yeah,
bird cage,
yeah,
and I know that place is haunted. I know for a fact it is.
yeah.
Um, and of course, everyone says Alcatraz. Yeah, Alcatraz. It's somewhere on my list, but
Hmm.
um, and then there's been discussions of like the Wolf Creek Inn, I think down south, down by Medford Roseburg.
Hmm.
Um, we've also been discussing, or I've, well, us getting back over to Gunslinger Gulch Ranch. That was, like a 6 part series on TV on History Channel or something like that. Um, so we tend to go to places that have been on TV and go and do our own little paranormal stuff.
Sure.
And Heidi and I were there a couple months ago, and we actually did get some things off of that. So
Nice, nice.
yeah, we got an EVP with an entity laughing and giggling, and
Man,
there's a very good Class A no. So yeah,
wow, that is
yeah,
incredible. Yeah, the EVPs, I never tire of being amazed at those. Especially what would creep me out. Two things, right? creep me out is children. Oh, if I heard that, woo, man. Or
Well, speaking of children,
okay.
Heidi and I went to the Clown Motel in Nevada. Actually, Heidi and one of her girlfriends went first, and I gave them a audio recorder. They came back. I caught a little girl asking if she could sit on mommy's lap.
Oh no, no.
And there
Oh,
was no girls around in the room, obviously. It was
yeah.
just Heidi and her friend. No one outside. And clear as day, can I sit on mommy's lap?
Mm,
It gave that actually gave
that's
me
incredible.
chills.
Oh yeah,
And then
big time.
and
Oh,
the reason it kind of I'll explain why it gives me a little chills. After I get that EVP, when I got that off of Heidi and her friends' work. When Heidi and I went, I didn't realize how close the cemetery was to the hotel.
mm-hmm.
Everything I've heard was it's across the street. It's not. It's literally right next door, about 50 feet away.
Ooh.
And back in the far right hand corner of that cemetery is where all the young children are buried.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And
Oh
walking
gosh.
through there, seeing children's names on the tombstones, what really got to me along with that EVP was the fact that there's still toys, stuffed animals, necklaces on most of those graves. You know,
Oh,
and these are kids from way 1800s, early 1900s.
yeah.
People are still visiting and you know,
Oh, that's just
respect. It touches your heart,
yeah.
but and that EVP it got to me. A little child wanting to sit on mommy's lap.
Yeah. Right. Children to me when I've listened to EVPs with children, it's a mix of emotions, right? On one hand,
Absolutely.
you feel like because you don't want any child to feel lonely
You
or
don't want them to feel left behind.
right, right.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
Summer's really good with children entities.
yeah,
She's gotten those down at the Klondike in St. Helens, um, and a few other places that we've done
yeah.
that she's been at. But yeah,
Oh man. Okay. I'm not gonna get in specifics about where and when, but give me the creepiest EVP you guys ever got.
as a group, I've not gotten any creepy. I
Okay.
really haven't. Um,
Or
and
or just anytime, you know.
I mean, I think the creepiest thing I've really heard, uh, I'd have to say, I take that back. The Demon Tigered House.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
yeah.
mm.
And that was basically three paranormal teams going into the house, or representatives of three different teams. Let me rephrase that. Going into that house. Yeah, that some stuff, bad juju stuff going on in there.
I bet, man. Yeah, last week I had on a demonologist, Nathaniel Gillis.
Yeah,
And,
I listened to that episode.
just when you hear about demons and Lucifer, Satan, that automatically gives me the creeps. It
Yeah.
just
Well, in this instance of this demon tigered house, we call it, it was, I want to say a 50-50 kind of the people that were trying to call us out, see if we were actually real,
mhm.
and, wanted to try and say we were fake, basically.
Yeah,
Um, but being unbeknownst to them, we had an audio recorder pretty much sitting by where they were sitting. And the three of us decided to take a step outside. And well, we heard their conversation, obviously. They didn't realize that an audio recorder was there. So
yeah.
they were trying to pull some stuff, but there was legit audio stuff going on there. Um, Later, we found out the gal that was there, the roommate, was a practicing witch. I'm trying to bring things, negative things, into the
Conjuring,
house.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh no. So
Yeah.
she's not your everyday happy go lucky white witch.
No.
She is definitely on the left hand path. Uh
Right.
oh man.
And
That creeps me out.
yeah, uh, we ended up getting the house cleared. You know,
Yeah,
one of the guys.
that's my next question.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
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 We got it cleared, and then one of the guys from the other group got a call about a month later saying stuff's happening again. Well, they kicked the lady out of the house, but we did not, or I did not go back to
Mhm.
that house. I don't know if he did or not, but I know I did
Yeah.
on the second go around. I figured the first one, you know, them trying to think we're phony and not real, and then kept, catching some things that were, yeah, not so kosher, so to speak.
Right.
I put up there with that video recording of Heidi's almost up there. It just seemed dark,
Mm, yeah. That creeps me out.
malevolent, and calling Heidi's name. It almost. But since then, I've not had anything. It's more, um, uh,
Yeah.
asking us to help, or
Mhm.
just informing us, hey, someone left a pair of glasses here, and
Okay.
things of that nature. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, when you talked about the cleansing, that's actually my next question because I've heard of some groups that do the investigation and they just leave, right? They're there just for data or whatever,
Right.
and to me that's not pure. That I mean, if you're there and there's something, I think it's almost duty to
It is.
cleanse the house and because investigation it's not over until
Right.
you investigate and you know do something to do something to make it all better
Exactly.
you know
Yeah. Yeah. And we're, as a group, we're getting to that point. Um, with having Holly on the team,
Mhm.
definitely she can help. I do. If it gets to a certain point, I will reach out to another group that I know
Mhm.
and say, "Hey, can you come over? We need some help with this." Or even before we start the investigation, if I feel like I may need someone, I'll ask them to join the team for that investigation
Yeah,
in particular. I've done it a couple times already. So
yeah. Explain to me
just
a
to be on
little.
the safe side.
Yeah, explain to me a little bit about what a cleansing entails. Because I mean, there's some people probably have lived under a rock and they really don't know what goes into it. Can you describe a little bit about that process?
If I can, to be honest, I'm not 100% positive. I did
Sure.
have, friends come, or other paranormal, they they do a blessing, they do the holy water, they sage, they do all that. They'll go throughout the whole um, place, the home or business. They will even do the person or people, bless them and all
Yeah.
that good, things, um, and go from there. I mean, like I said, I don't know the whole detail, and that's something we
Sure.
as a team are learning, going to be learning to get into, to help,
Yeah.
our clients, and to help us as a team as well, make us more credible than we already are.
Right. Right. And I imagine the cleansing is like almost as unique as the investigations because obviously every investigation is different. And
Absolutely.
you never know what you have. So you really got to get a lid on what you're dealing with in order to cleanse, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man. Uh I just I got a billion questions. So if I start like, are you yeah, it's gonna,
Jason,
yeah,
Jason,
reel it
reel it
in.
in.
I knew it. Thank you. Uh so we talked about the bucket list, right?
You
And when
cut
I
off there.
think and as a layman, right, a guy that hasn't done any investigations, that's only seen or heard or read, you know,
Mhm.
about them. To me, because I'm a history dude, man, I love history. Uh, the two things that come to my mind is Gettysburg and Antietam, two Civil War battle sites that, I mean, thousands upon thousands died, and so it's got to leave one hell of an imprint
Yeah.
behind.
I
Uh,
mean, I would love to get over to Gettysburg. That should be on my bucket list. I'm not too familiar with that other one that you named.
Antietam, the it is the worst battle as far as fastest casualties, fastest dead. There was
Okay.
somehow thousands of troops died literally in like 20 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's horrible that, that, and there's others, Cold Harbor. And another one that's local that I would love to check out is what used to be Damish State Hospital, the mentally ill and hospitalized. Now they abandoned that site and gone obviously to a new site. But Oregon State Hospital
Right.
or whatever. I've heard that there has been tons of activity there, and just the setting of an old hospital. There were all
Well,
sorts of
shenanigans going on.
yeah,
Yeah,
what.
I'm right now. I've been actually since the Ghost Conference, we have been trying to get into the asylum down there in Seaside.
Ooh, I did not
Rockies,
know there was one.
yeah. Um, it. I'm told it's an asylum. Actually,
Yeah.
Rocky has been trying to get into it for years, and I have a way to get in. It's just we've been getting stonewalled.
Mm,
Uh, for a little while because the place has been sold several times.
gotcha.
So it's now trying to find the current owner
Okay.
and talk with them.
Hey, that's an interesting thing. How often do you get stonewalled? How often do you meet with people that are just not receptive to what you want to do?
I think it's for me so far twice, I think.
Okay.
So it's not very often. But then again, we're not doing, a case every couple weeks or whatnot, because some cases could be relatively simple. And there's cases that are really more challenging, complex,
Yeah.
um, like the one I'm doing right now. You know, um, I spoke with the gal a couple weeks ago. I said, "Hey, look, can we come back down on such a date? Because we need to, you know, check on a few things, um, and obviously to try and get some more research. We've got some research done, but
Mm,
we need to dig into more. So it really varies. Some could take a month, a couple months.
yeah.
This is going to be an ongoing thing, probably for a while. You
Yeah.
know, um,
Well, yeah, I imagine so because I mean, some of the groups I heard they just go in, oh, okay, we got this, and then they leave, right? But
right?
it isn't as simple as that. I mean, there's a lot of data that you got to crunch, and then a part of that data you got questions again, right? So, like you said,
Exactly.
you go back and do more because you're trying to get to the truth. Uh,
Absolutely. I mean, I know personally of a couple groups that have gone into places, done an investigation, and that's it. They never went back and met the client at all to to go over anything.
yeah,
You know, our last case that we did up in Lake Oswego, that was pretty much a one night deal. Um, we tried to get in a couple more times, but the owner didn't want us to come back apparently. Um,
Hmm.
but we gave them, we spoke to them, we talked to them. I said, you have to try and validate what their claims are, or try to debunk their claims. And
Yeah.
you know, it's fulfilling when you can validate their concerns, their feelings, what they've been seeing or hearing,
Yeah.
and then give them something new that they didn't know. It sometimes they're excited for that. You could see it in their expression or their body language, and sometimes it may freak them out. um,
Yeah.
I had an experience there that didn't happen while any of them were there before, and me and another investigator heard it. So didn't see it, but we heard it, and we've asked if this has ever happened before, and they're like, no. I'm
Mm.
like, well, I can guarantee you, I don't have video of it, but I have the audio for it. Here it is. We give them all the audio. We give them whatever information we have, whether it's pictures, video, or audio.
Yeah.
We give it to the client. Say, here you go. Do with it as you wish. If you want to share it, share it. Um, if they've had other groups in there, you can add it to what the other groups have had. So you can compile a list of things going on
Right.
and what other groups find.
Yeah, that's see, that tells me that a group is real, that they're willing to share the experience with the client.
Well,
Because
you kind of have to, because they're asking you to come in.
right, right. But to me, I mean, to me, that just validates it, right? Validates the
Absolutely.
motive behind the investigation, that you guys literally are there to find the truth and then share it, whatever comes up, you know?
Absolutely.
And okay, last question for you, and this is what I ask a lot is if somebody's listening, or somebody has questions or wants to learn, and they want to get into doing investigations or being a part of a group, uh, what advice do you have for them?
Do your research. I mean, go to the ghost conference or wherever paranormal groups meet in your area. Ask, no question. I mean, ask questions. If you
Yeah.
don't ask a question, you ain't gonna know the answer. Um, and look for, I'd say, a group that's been there for a while, because they tend to be more reputable. Um, Now, if it's a new group, if you want to go with a new group, go with a new group, because you all learn as one.
Mhm.
Kind of like what we're getting a lot better than what we were, but um, just yeah. I mean, it research,
Yeah.
ask questions, find see if there's any groups in your area that are looking to bring people on.
Hmm.
Um, uh,
Fantastic.
go online. Yeah, you know,
Awesome. Yeah. Hey, James, before we get out of here, give give your deets, man. Tell
I
people
did.
where they can find you, and just contact the Guardian Angel Paranormal Society.
Well, they can contact us, or you can go to www.gapsociety.com. That's pretty much where send us an email, or be sending me the email, and I'll get back to whoever within an hour or two, depending if I'm at work or whatnot. Um, we're also on Facebook. We're also on Instagram. So yeah,
So you're
we're all
you're all over the place.
yeah, and that's why I got Heidi as a marketing person. She does a great job.
Excellent. Yeah, if you don't mind, I want to check in every now and again, and see what's going on in your world. Because I mean, as you're learning, I mean, I imagine we have really great stuff in the future.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Awesome. James, thank you so much, man, for taking the time. to hang out for a while and talk about the Guardian Angel Paranormal Society.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome, you bet. And that has been James Mitchell. I didn't say it once, James. I did not say big game. I just said it right there.
There, see, you had to do it, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. But thank you again. Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely appreciate it.
All right. We have some last bit of news before we wrap it up. My former co-host of the show, Holly Jordan, is going to be doing her own podcast. It's called Holly's Pandorium. Hey, do me a favor and please give it a listen. She's going to do just a fantastic job, and I, for one, will be listening. All right, folks. Midnight Alchemy now has a voicemail line. You can leave a message and chime in on anything you like, including paranormal experiences, news, episodes, your favorite guests, and guest ideas. Maybe I'll put it on the show. Heck, you can get rip snorting drunk and slur into the phone. It'll be a hoot. We also have an email address, midnightalchemyshow@gmail.com. Again, midnightalchemyshow@gmail.com. You can leave anything there too. Well, everything except the drunken slurring. All right, folks, we are going to head out into the sunset. We will see you all again on our next episode very, very soon. Folks, until next time, Arrivederci.